This is one of the last things that we are going to look at doing. We're going to add some music into our game, and we are going to add in a background as well. I say background, it's going to be a what's called a splash screen. So when the game loads up, it's the first thing that somebody's going to see, and we're going to try and add some instructions on there as well. So the way we do this, you can see I've moved everything around a little bit. I've just move these code blocks away because I'm going to be added into this start block. So I'm going to click on the scene option, and we're going to click on this option here that says set background image, and I'm going to drag it in, and I'm going to click on the background image, and I'm going to start off by just using the paint bucket. We're going to go black and put it in. Now one thing you'll notice is this is a lot bigger than the sprite. This is 160 by 120 pixels wide, so it's much bigger. You'll notice there's no text here as well, which means you have to draw everything out. So I'm going to start by drawing mine, and just going to call mine Space Chase. You can call yours whatever you want, whatever you can think of, do it. So Space Chase. One thing to bear in mind, if you are trying to do this on a mouse trackpad, it is going to probably be a little bit more difficult than a normal mouse, so don't panic too much about it. I don't necessarily mind what you make, just make something so it looks fairly good. I'm just going to add in a few yellow dots there for stars. If you wanted to, you could draw some of your enemies here if you've got time, or you could draw some of your collectibles, your spaceship, or whatever. Leave the bottom part though free, right? Because when we add in the text is going to go into the bottom. So once I've done that, I'm going to click done, and then what we are going to do is we're going to select the option here where we've got info, and we are going to go all the way down. No, sorry, we're not going to go with info. Sorry, my bad. We're going to go to game, and I'm going to go all the way down to this one here which says show long text. So if I click on that, and we're going to drag that in, and then we're going to basically give some instructions. So use the arrows to move the player. Now you can add a number of these in. I'm just going to add everything into one. Avoid the enemy and collect the health. Okay, so that's now going to remain at the bottom. Now if I just recycle my game for a second, you can see Space Chase comes up with an instruction, and it's automatically put this press button A in, which is amazing. So if I press button A, everything starts. Now if I just stop this, you can see there's a problem here. This background is still there. Now I want to get rid of that. I don't really want this Space Chase background to be on when the game's playing, so all we do is we add another background in, and then if I click on it, and we're going to change this one back to whatever color you wanted. So I'm going to go back to black, and now when we recycle this, press A, great, it goes back to as it was normally. Now the last thing we are going to look at is adding a little bit of music in. Now music is fairly nice, and it's quite basic within the software, don't forget, because it's like an 8-bit type game. So what we're going to do is we are going to click on this music, and we are going to click on play melody. Now before I actually do this, you are going to have to add in another block. If I just put this melody in here in the main on start, it would play once, but what I want to happen is this plays all the time. So I'm going to click on my loops, and I'm going to grab this forever loop, and I'm going to add in the melody here. Now by default you can see there's nothing there, and the tempo set. So if I click on this here, I've now got an editor. There's a gallery with some built-in music there for you, but I think it's always nice if we make our own. So I'm going to just start by clicking in some of these. I'm going to clear what I've just made, but it's there. Okay, now if you want to hear your creation, click on the play. Now you might want to change things, and you can, no problem at all. You can try different things, but you'll probably notice that's not really spacey or anything like that. Well, if we change our tempo, let's go up to 820 just to see what it does. Okay, that's a little bit better. Now what we can do is we can add more of these in. So if I add in another melody, and I'm going to change this one And again, we'll put that to 820. So what will happen is, hopefully now as the game is playing, it'll switch between these two. And you can make as many melodies as you want. They'll just play one after the other. So let's just see now what that does. Okay, so we've got the A. Nothing's playing at the moment, which is good. And we've got this here, which is good. Now then, what we can do, this music may be a little bit too loud, so in the music option there, you have an option to set the volume of the music. So if you wanted to be a bit quieter, so you can see I've set that one out to 20. Let's restart the game. There you are. That's, I don't know if the microphone's picking it up, but that is much quieter now on my PC. The last thing I just thought of now, you might want to add in, if you've just noticed, what we could do on button A press, we could add in a sound, which is, if I look, pew pew. Let's have a look. So now when I press my space bar, I've now got a sound file there coming out. Now again, if you wanted to, you can increase the sound there, you can increase the noise of it by using the set volume. So I can just add that in there. Let's set the volume there higher. 103, let's try it. There we are, that's much better. Okay, now that is only a little bit of an extra. You might not actually need to reset the volume, you may just have it as it is, and you can obviously get rid of everything there. So in a nutshell, that is how you would build the entire game. There's lots to do here, there's lots of things we've thought about. The only thing we haven't done is looked at how would we go on to another level, but I'll probably save that for another video at some other point. Now then, what do you need to do? Well, the last part of this is quite simple. You need to add in a background image, draw it, add in some text to explain what you need to do, add in then another background image after you've done that, create a forever loop, and add in some melodies there so you've got some background music playing as well. So that pretty much concludes everything that we had set out to do. We've created a space game with a player, which the player can obviously move using arrow keys or the directional joystick, as well as creating enemies and collectibles. Hopefully you can have a little bit of fun building this game.